Hello there everyone, this is Jungsteria, and welcome to the third episode of the Iron Eagle. Before even now, it took me so long to see this video where I haven't posted yet. So today, we're getting the third episode of the full half of this once. The government of the Fourth Reich. In the year 2046, it's all took for the ultimate body shapes of the Fourth Reich. The first discovery from the clouds since founded in early most evacuation point, where it's designed, and so what does going to happen for the Fourth Reich's affiliation? But here's the point, the Fourth Reich has lost abilities to conversize for any application point that have arisen by early February 6, 2046, and is still halved by that point, in the morning before Valentine's Day eventually ended. And so, any point what's going to happen. Until then, it beginning for the far future from us all, since our birth of it would be evacuate itself. Then, of course, never been lost. And so, what's going to happen next? It's all for the ultimate shape and security in the point that the military of the Fourth Reich was actually very controllable for the place. And that was the occasional until it was to be done. After entire years to work with the Fourth Reich's abilities was never conducted before. And so that is the first any administrations against the last of the German point in the entire Congress. And formally we didn't have a Congress until this has to be done for the Fourth Reich's true eagle point did not exist for deceasement until a completely going for good question is it true paradigm things, including our brisons to itself with the swastika, was not ever look like as a manji itself. And so, what does havoc on? The Fourth Reich has still have to keep working with the education until it would be done, as the education is for deaf as well. In the thread for the entire series from the Berlin, Reichstag becomes much greater pond right behind on the Führer's White House, where it presided a huge day to become the ultimate future of Germany. Itself once again didn't forbidden as the noodles consumptions, where it presided the most in the entire cities, where it stands and builds not so much to do as a new threat. After the buildings were far more even the bigger, couldn't be expected, and however they're really much just seen as a one threading how to lead throughout the realm of the Fourth Reich would not be expected it so long. And until then, it took one shape of the lost mines, not forbidden in this ones. However, the final half the Fourth Reich cities of the Berlin becoming one unfortunate very bigger. It's so that is the most biggest city in entirety of countries that have reconstructed by early 2047 until 2050. For 3 years later, everything became much very bigger and in diamonds. And so, not so much to see what it's not to be had for the blink of an eye. Any other thread never seen for this. This Berlin ever grown out to its own by biggest cities that Germany has a true congress for the point. And however, the sizes of its place, which arises for the entirety world, didn't took the last of the imbeciles with wretched. And however, it's very much more than that. It was bigger cities than ours. Once again, it didn't took for the last degradable shape, and that's why who were born in the place in the city of the Fourth Reich, the largest city is the true Congress. However, also the thing is, secondly, the new largest city from Germany was now to be called the Germania, and that it became one thing. This city became very larger than our city of the Berlin as well. Of course, the Fourth Reich has 10 assignments: technical designs, elections of Germania, Doom Workers Machine, the Reich's compensates, the Journal pinpoints, social warfare, Eclipse confront, the jungles of Middle Africa, Cold of Mars, and the greatest city of Berlin. most any examine, there are 10 assignments for this, as both of them cannot be exploited there. There will be no longer for the 20 counts, there are only 10 counts for the assignments, and that's how the conclusion for this for, and that's why they decided to recreate the first government of the Fourth Reich. And the most throughout colonization of Middle Africa was actually looked very different. And however, it's so simple when this has happening, and the entire colonization of the Africa was actually both of it. This Fourth Reich's true loss of the African territories, about 3 of them: the Togoland, Cameroon, the East Africa, and Namibia, before it took to become the one big German Africa itself. And once again, it took now for the final shape for the things which could live on for the entire years. However, the peoples of Fourth Reich are actually living in the years to be done for the Middle Africa, but it's not very concluded. And that's how it did. And the most entire years never have to be conducted to do so. And that's very promoted in a kind of thing after after the war it took for the final constitution. That Middle Africa would become itself the one government in a design for true colonists. The Fourth Reich's one colonization of the Africa was not very different. And so that concludes for none of it to be seen in this episode. But I mean, it's truthful. The Fourth Reich is ever exhaustible after these African independent nations were actually exiled after they became under monarch controls between the British, the Belgium, French, and also the Portuguese. And I'm sorry, I actually forgot the British. Yeah, it's true. In most of the entire countries, it's now preparing to be colonized by the Fourth Reich itself when quickly swallowed up. And so, what's happening to their next? That they will no longer declare independence. And so that concludes this. One Middle African nation was also under control of the Fourth Reich as a one government nation. And that concludes the 3rd episode of the Iron Eagle. So thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel, share, like, and comment where I could post every video. And don't forget to click the bell notification on. So yeah, I have to reduce myself or keep working for more updates, so I will no longer keep them. And yes, I will thank you all for your support, and I'll give you for more for any updates what you want me to do. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Jungsteria is out.